What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Vancity Audi. My name is Adam, and in behind me is my new daily driver, my B8 S4. It's a 2012 model. I wanted to introduce you guys to the car, give you a quick rundown on my not so pleasant first 4,000 kilometers with the car, give you a little bit of my take on what the experience has been purchasing the vehicle, the first 4,000K that I've put on the car, and give you guys a little bit of a taste for what I hope to do with the vehicle. Just wanted to bring you guys up to speed. I haven't shot anything with this yet, so I just wanted to introduce you guys to my new daily, my B8 S4. Cruising down the street in my S4 in the famous words of Eazy-E. At least that's what I hear when I hear that song. It is beautiful inside. The cabin is awesome. I picked the red with the black leather seats. I got some carbon fiber accents. So the inside is super comfortable, and I have been very, very happy with the ride quality that this S4 provides. Besides the wonderful ride quality and enjoying the 4,000 kilometers that I put on the car, I just wanted to walk you guys through my experience and what I had to deal with to get this car, to land this car, and the problems that I've had, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it hasn't been the best 4,000 kilometers you could ask for. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I was looking for a B8 S4. First of all, a lot of you guys are gonna think, why would you not get a B8.5? That is the biggest question that I was asked. Adam, why didn't you get it? They're that much of a better car. You don't have to deal with this problem or this problem. I'll tell you now, and I'll probably mention it again in a few more videos, but just because I was stupid enough to turn my $55,000 RS3 into a race car and pull it off the road and strip out the interior and do all that crazy stuff, those are just poor financial decisions. Straight out. Horrible, horrible financial decisions. It is not that I'm balling out of control and can afford a very expensive second car as a daily driver. So I had to save money where I could. So I wanted to enjoy this car. I've always liked S4s, this beast of a supercharged V6. I've always loved them. It's just a thing of mine. I've always loved the sound of these superchargers, especially when you open up the intake, and there's so many fun things to do this car. Anyways, I could only afford a B8. Plain and simple. I could not afford that extra bit to get me into an 8.5. So that's why I got a B8. So there were multiple available in the Lower Mainland. Took a look at a few of them. The big thing I was looking for, though, was the mechatronic unit. I wanted to make sure that mechatronic had been fixed already. This particular car, when I was looking at it, had 101,000 kilometers on the clock, and I was told that the transmission had just been serviced about, I don't know, 3,000 kilometers previous to this owner wanting to sell his vehicle. So as soon as I heard that this transmission had already been serviced, I was like, ooh, that's a big thing to look for. So I looked into the other S4s that I was looking at, and none of them had had any work done to their transmission yet and had more kilometers. 140 and 150,000 K were the other two that I had looked at. This, dun dun dun, does not have the sport diff. I know you diehards for your B8s and your 8.5s are like, you gotta have the sport diff, it's gonna get better traction in the rears, it's the whole thing. I could not find one locally that had a sport diff and had the transmission serviced. So I continued to look at this car thinking that I had a win. It had less kilometers and it had the transmission serviced, so it was on the up and up. So I went to take a look at the car, test drove the car, and I had never driven an S4 before, a B8, 8.5, regardless of year. I had never driven one, but it felt very solid, very locked down, felt heavy, especially compared to my RS3, but it drove rather well. So I asked the gentleman that had the car for sale if I could get my tech, Rider Performance, Kyle, down there to take a look at it and give me an overall scope of things. So I went down and took a closer look at it, and realized that the gentleman that owned the car before me, I don't know, it just, I don't want to say he didn't care about his car, but there is damage on every single panel and every single wheel and some tires on this car. He abused the living crap out of it. It was damaged everywhere. And the best analogy I can give you guys is when you see a dog, or you find out a puppy dog has been abused or has come from a bad home, and you're looking to adopt a dog, and you know it's been given that crap life, and you're just like, you deserve so much more. I'm an animal guy. For those that watch the channel, you know that. I wanted to be like, damn, this car needs to be rescued. It has so much potential. It has been driven hard. Those 100,000 kilometers, I swear the thing must have dinged off I don't know how many walls and parked cars, and I don't know what else he hit with this thing, but everything was damaged. But that didn't shy me away from looking into it more, because to me, if it's mechanically sound, that was the big deal for me, because I know I'm going to be putting this car through its paces. So got it to rider performance, gave it the whole once over. We found the steering pump was a little leaky, so eventually that thing's probably gonna have to be replaced. And then when we popped it up on the hoist, we looked underneath, we noticed that there was some damage to the rad support. And I'm just not talking about minor damage. It was snapped, like completely snapped apart everywhere. So I quickly reached back to the owner and I'm like, hey dude, you claim no accidents on this car. Do you want to swear to me that it's never been in an accident? Yeah, I've never been in an accident, just regular wear and tear. Now his definition, my definition, and I'm sure many of you watching's definition of general wear and tear is very different from each other. Once I dug a bit more, have you ever hit anything? Well, I hit a post in my underground. That's an accident. My definition of an accident is when you hit something with your car and you didn't mean to, it was an accident. His response was, well, I didn't hit another car. Oh, dude, so I was livid. So we looked further. We found out that they had resprayed the front bumper. They didn't fix the damage, basically covered it up as best they could, and he was selling it as a non-accident or an accident-free S4. So I was pissed. So there is a lot of body damage that I had already mentioned. Like, he had hit everything. The side door needs to be replaced. It needs to be completely refinished. There's damage to the panel over here. The front, the whole front of the car needs to be pulled apart. New rad support, everything needs to be fixed. So I gave him a counter offer, which was thousands less, because I knew how much money this car was gonna cost just to get it back to what's acceptable for my standards. We ended up coming to an agreement. Cool, got it. Purchased the car. He felt like he deserved more. I felt like I still overpaid slightly because I knew how much needed to be fixed on this thing, even though he was selling it as an accident-free S4 that had damage all over the vehicle. So, start driving the car. I'm a daily driver. I'm pumped. I got this comfortable S4. I no longer have to drive around my RS3 with this tin can where I'm driving on aluminum seats. It's fast as hell, but not the greatest of vehicles to daily. So it feels good, it feels solid. Then I start noticing after a couple thousand kilometers that when I'm accelerating from a start, it's kind of juddery. It's not smooth. What the hell's going on? So I look into it and I'm like, I message him, you've replaced the mechatronic unit, right? The transmission was serviced, and he had sent me paperwork before from Audi saying the circuit board had been replaced. And I was like, cool, it's been fixed. So a buddy of mine, Ryder, over at Audi Kelowna, who has helped me out in the past, I reached out to him and said, hey bud, you are a tech for Audi, and these are my problems, these are my symptoms, just what is your general interpretation of what I'm going through? And his first thing he said, have you had the mech replaced? And I was like, yeah, I have a receipt from Audi. So he's like, the mech or the circuit board? And I was like, good Lord, there's two different things to be replaced with these transmissions? He's like, yeah, the circuit board goes and the mechatronic goes. Read what it says on the actual thing. So pulled up the invoice he sent me, got it back from the owner, he sent it to me, replaced circuit board. So the circuit board has been replaced. He's already had the errors, and that's been taken care of, which was an issue with his reverse gear. But the mechatronic is now crapping the bed. Now that I know my mechatronic is starting to fail, and he's very, very confident on that, it's gonna cost me a lot of more money to get this thing to where it needs to be. Not only do I need to fix everything from the damage from the previous owner that I didn't know about it until I took it apart, I have to pay for this mechatronic, which is a very expensive repair, and another reason why so many people go with B8.5s over B8s. So when all is said and done, this is horrible to admit, but I'm honest with you all. With the amount of money I am now going to have to put in to fix this damn thing, to get it where it should be, I could have just spent that money on an 8.5 and not had to deal with it. So, crap happens. You have to deal with it as best you can. That's the situation I'm dealing with. I showed you guys before when I started the video, the rear of the car. The only things that I have done to the car so far is I immediately debadged the damn thing. I cannot stand the fact that Audi shipped these cars out to the public with a V6T on the badge, claiming that it's a turbocharged V6. The brand new B9 S4s are turbocharged, so if you want to leave that badge on those cars, go for it. But for me, immediately, I don't want to claim that this car has something that it doesn't. It has a monster 3-liter V6 supercharged motor that I am going to have a hell of a lot of fun with. I'm very, very excited to bring this car to the channel because I want to show people a different demographic of people. Not necessarily the people that can afford a $55,000, $60,000, $65,000 four-door sedan as in an RS3 and then dump all that stuff into it, strip it all out, turn it into a race car. Totally different demographic. This car, with the price point that you can get it at these days, if you can manage to find one with a mechatronic that's been fixed, is much more reasonable. The younger demographic can get into these things. They're fun, they're fast. It has been a blast so far, very comfortable, as I stated earlier. So what I'm gonna do over who knows how long, over the next few months, next year, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I am gonna up the power on this thing significantly. I am going to do mods, change things, but I'm gonna keep it my daily driver. I'm not gonna strip the thing and leave it gutted and drive around like tin can. I can't do that with two cars, it's insanity. I may pull a few things for drag racing because you can count on it, guys. This thing's going to the track with me. I am going to be upgrading the power just like I did in my RS3, step by step by step by step, to show you guys how much more power you can get out of these things reliably. I'm gonna be doing different things, tweaking different things, showing you guys how to better your S4s to make them faster. What I've found so far with the research that I've done in the group of people that tend to own these cars is just slap on parts and go. They don't do any research. They don't really try to utilize the cars to their peak potential. It's just bolt on and go. And for those of you that are familiar with the channel already, I bolt on and log, change something, log, change something, dyno, change something, dyno. I will continually try to grow and make this car faster and faster. Now, if you've stuck with me all the way through this video, through all of this talking, I need to know your guys' opinions. I finally got to some nice windy back roads for me to drive on. I want to know from you guys, what do you think I should do to this car? What company do you think I should use to tune this vehicle? What parts do you think I should use? There are so many companies out there now. Off the top of my head, 034 Motorsport, Integrated Engineering, APR, Unitronic. I'm sure there's so many more, but those are the first ones that come to my mind. I want to know your guys' comments. I want to know your feedback. Let me know what you think I should do to this car, what company I should use, who you found more reliable. Load it up. As much as I've done my own research, as much as I've put in my time, I am definitely interested to what you guys know about the vehicles. I'm just learning. Starting from scratch. This is awesome, by the way. I love these back roads. This car feels solid. As much as the RS3 is light, this feels super planted because it's like 900 pounds heavier. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below who I should use. So to end this all off, be prepared to see some crazy stuff, some big numbers, some drag racing, some modifications. There are a ton of different things I'm going to be doing to this S4, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys think and what you guys think I should do to this car to make it as enjoyable as possible and fast as possible. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care.